time. We'll play that song in a minute, man. Yeah. Sign saying the meeting's being live streamed, so we ready. Okay.
Yeah. Let me know when you want me to start.
I'm gonna play the music. You want me to play the music first or not?
Yes. Yes.
So how long you want to hear? That's a long song. It's 5 minutes long. How long you want to hear
that? Just like 2-3 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, sit.
Devastated for Bashford and Simpson. But I wonder if for a minute if we get real serious here. And remember why we're all here. Like it just to take a moment, listen to the message in the song.
You gotta turn your mics off, man. Y'all gotta turn your mics off.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Somebody, this world a better place. If you can. Somebody's hand, make this world a better place. If you can, take a little time from your busy day to give encouragement to someone who's lost their way. Would you do that? Or would I be talking to a stone? If I asked you to share a problem that's not your own. Oh, we could change if we start giving. Why don't you reach out and touch somebody's head? Touch somebody's head. Make this world a better place. If you can, we can do it. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can. Just sing a little bit now.
If you see an old friend on the street and he's down, remember his shoes could be your feet.
Go ahead, and you'll see it's something that comes very, very naturally. Ooh, oh, we can change things.
Change things.
If we start giving. Why don't you reach out and touch somebody's hand?
This world a better place.
Oh, baby. Would you reach out?
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can.
Touch somebody. Would you touch somebody? Touch somebody.
A better place.
God, to be a better place for you. All we can do is
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Young, and what's in your hand. And now, here's Rick. Rick, you have to unmute yourself, Rick.
How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Young, another segment of What's in Your Hand here at GHCR, excuse me. And I want to say that was a song by Teddy Pendergrass, was singing along with Ashford and Simpson, a song that was originally done by Diana Ross. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. And I love those principles. And I got some amazing guests here today. They're going to do a program in Atlantic City paying tribute to Teddy Pendergrass with his original band members. I think at least 5 of his band members. And I would like to bring on Spring PINNCOCK. Spring, how are you doing today? Unmute your mic and come on in. Spring, are you there? Unmute your mic.
Hello.
Okay. All right, Spring. We just listened to that wonderful song, Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand. Make this world a better place if you can. What became present as you was listening to that song, Brent? I will call you Spring. What became present for you as you was listening to those words of that song? Spring, are you there? Can you hear me? Spring, are you there? Can you hear me?
We seem to have lost Francine, can you unmute your mic?
I think I am. Could you hear me?
Yes, we
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
We lost Spring for a second.
So we're going to get Spring back in a minute. But as you were listening, excuse me?
Was it Reagan when that song came out? Or they sang it? That was Live Aid, wasn't it? That Teddy sang that song with on the stage?
Yeah.
You know what? Okay. I didn't know that. I just looked. Yeah. So what became present for you, Francine, as you was listening to that song that they were singing?
It's an inspirational song. It's probably one of the favorite ones. You just want to sing along with it. And it's the truth. You always want to reach out and touch someone's hand, and everyone wants to make this a better world in general. So it speaks volumes, in all honesty, if you listen to the words.
Well, I wouldn't say everyone. I don't think anyone wants to make this world a better place. That's just my opinion. Maybe they want to make it a better place for themselves, but not for everybody.
Well, to clarify that, you're correct. It's more self-centered in this world right now, instead of trying to give back to everyone in general. But you're correct, absolutely.
Well, that song was originally done by Diana Ross, and I remember she sang it in Central. She had a big concert in Central Park, and it was raining that day. She was singing it in the rain. And I thought I was impressed. She was out there doing that song in the rain. And it's such a powerful song with such powerful words. So I really appreciated Diana Ross for doing that. Absolutely. So is Spring with us yet? Was she able to get back with us? Okay, so Francine, you're getting ready for this concert coming up August 21st, Saturday, August 21st in Atlantic City with the original Teddy Pendergrass band. Francine, how did you become a part of this project?
I actually became a part of this project because Robert Wawa LeGrand is a personal friend of mine. And it kind of all started with a little spot in a nightclub that we were at. And Lamont's brother, Don Connor, who will be the vocalist for this show, actually was there, and they let him get up on stage and sing 1 or 2 songs. Wawa loved him. He was playing with a different band at that point in time. And from there, we were able to do a show with 3 of the original members at the legendary Birchmere in January. It was a reduced capacity due to COVID, but they did another show down in Indian Head where they actually had 4 of the 5 members. And then just recently, we were able to reach to Robert Lanham and obtain the 5th original member of the group. So kind of just friends of mine that evolved into the next. Bill and Brett Jolly are also friends of mine. I know Brett for a long time as well.
Well, But we need two more spots on that stage. We need two more spots. Me for one. I want to get up there and do some of my Teddy stuff. And then my engineer is a bad Teddy performer.
Hey, it sounds like
a
plan.
You're tuned in GHCR.NYC, Grant Houses Community Radio, home of the Community News Service, and the soul of the Upper West Side.
Yeah. So we need two more spots. Okay. Hey, Spring, we need two more spots on this.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, we need two more spots on the stage. For me, one for me, and one for my engineer, Doug Frazier.
Wow, I'll tell you this, Ricky. This is going to be one of many shows to come. And Francine and I take it. I did hear Francine speaking. I also put Lamont on as well. But I will tell you. Okay. Well, it's going to be one of many shows to come. So we will definitely keep in mind that we have you and your engineer that will be willing to sing on one of our next shows.
Oh, there you go.
Ricky,
Go ahead.
Ricky, I just want to thank you so much, and thank you again for inviting me and my partners onto your show. You have been one of my biggest supporters through the years, and you've always given me a platform to promote many projects that I've come onto your show and have promoted in the past. And thanks for having us this afternoon. And just quickly, for those of you, well, Ricky introduced me, and, my name is Spring PINNCOCK, and I have a company called Worldwide Marketing Solutions. We're an education and entertainment production company. And today we're joined with Francine Constable, and Lamont may join in with us further along the show.
So how did you connect with Francine to make this project happen?
Well, I connected with Francine through Lamont White, who is a friend of mine and a colleague, and he brought me into the forum, and I just thought we spoke, Francine and Lamont and I, we spoke, and we thought when they put the idea out, I thought it was an excellent idea. Having the free concert for the healthcare workers and the law enforcement and all the frontline workers. So I was super excited to join in with them. I think it's going to be a great concert. It's for a great cause. We're doing it for a great reason. We just wanted to do something to show our appreciation to the courageous, hardworking individuals who kept us safe through the pandemic. And we just wanted to give back to them and give back in a big way on a big stage. And, we're able to do that. So I thank all the people that are involved, and especially thanks to the Showboat, who is having us provided the platform for us to have the concert at their facility in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
And what's the date?
The date is August 21st. 2021, and all they have to do is show their IDs and their, free entry. So everyone out there that's listening, I repeat, free concert. Just show your IDs. All frontline workers, law enforcement, and healthcare workers.
Now, in this program, we're allowed to announce if there's a cost involved. If you're not a healthcare worker, Can people still come? Can they still attend?
Yes, everyone is welcome. The more, the merrier. I'm telling you, it's going to be an awesome concert. You're able to see the reunion of the original band of Teddy Pendergrass. So we would love for everyone to come out and enjoy themselves.
And they could find, if they wanted to get tickets in advance, and even the frontline workers, if they wanted to register to secure a spot, because capacity is limited, they can go on Eventbrite and just look for Teddy Pendergrass Band Reunion in Atlantic City. and they'll be able to purchase their tickets electronically as well as register if they're a healthcare worker for free. Space, like I said, is limited capacity at the event.
Well, Francine, you look kind of young, and I like to know what is your knowledge on Teddy Pendergrass? Like, what's your knowledge on Teddy Pendergrass?
Well, first of all, I'm not young, and my knowledge on Teddy really is I love old school R&B. I love all the old music. I kind of really just always loved live entertainment as well, and that's how I met Wawa. And learned more and more through the years, and learned a little bit more about him. I actually saw Teddy Pendergrass at the Live Aid concert in '85.
You mean the one where he was on stage, that actual concert?
Yeah, actually.
Wow.
Actually there. So that was one of the ones that I, went to see, and it was an amazing event. I didn't go there specifically to see Teddy, but I just always loved live entertainment and that type of music. So over the years, I just, listened to him all the time. And with this show, I've kind of started to do more and more research and become a little bit more educated on it. But the sound is just phenomenal. The band sound, I'm telling you, that those originals, hearing them just at the Birchmere, we only had 3 of the 5. We had Wawa's son playing sax. His name is Saxel. He goes by Saxel Rose, but he trained him on sax. Wawa did. And now
who was Wawa?
Robert Legrand. He's an original Teddy Pendergrass member from the beginning.
They call him Wawa.
That's what they all know him by in the band, in the music industry and so forth. He's played with a countless number of people. He's even played for the King of Dubai. He plays the guitar. But the rest of the group actually is the portion of the original group from the second tour. Wawa is a real original. He's on the biography of Teddy. He's on the HBO shows. He is the one right from the beginning of time with him. So it's incredible. And for me, he's just Wawa. He's just very, very great guy.
Now, Spring, you another one that's kind of young. You're very young too. Now, what do you know about Teddy Pendergrass? You're kind of young, Spring.
I don't know about that, Richie, but I'll take it. But no, Teddy was always played in my home growing up. I've listened to him ever since Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and he's been a really big Teddy fan. And it's kind of like a couple of those songs are like our theme songs. I have a group of girls that I've grown up with that we're friends ever since we were about 9 years old. And every time we get together, like the clique, we play Teddy. So, that's our go-to guy. So I'm really super honored to be part of the show. And it's almost like a 20th anniversary reunion for the guys to get back together. And this is just the kickoff. And Atlantic City is the first stop in the kickoff tour. We'll be announcing future dates and venues moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
now,
I also
go ahead.
When you asked me a question and you said, "Is everyone welcome?" Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. Right. And I want them to know this is not just for frontline workers. This is for everybody. But a lot of the community organizations. And I just want to do a shameless shout out. While I have this opportunity, I want to thank a woman by the name of Sadia Gary. And she has an organization in Brooklyn, New York, and it's called Your Financier. And what she's doing is that she's has an organization that gives financial information, and she helps you, get with your credit score and things of that nature to get people more stable. Because I figure, the more stable you are and more financially secure, the more you can do to reach down and pull somebody else up by the bootstraps. And you're able to serve a whole lot better when you're in a better position. So that's also frontline. And I have a gentleman by the name of Quan. He's also out of Brooklyn, New York. And he has an organization called Gateway Community Empowerment. And he has an organization that gives jobs for guns. I thought that was very interesting because anytime you have poverty, what Saudi is doing to combat that, and you have jobs for guns, what Quan is doing, this is still a healthcare issue because anytime these things present premature death, just like heart disease, just like diabetes. So these are also frontline workers, and they're on the ground doing the work every day. You know, I have boroughs and states behind me with this. I have a lot of my friends supporting me, and I have a gentleman by the name of Rory Holloway that's coming out to support me. His wife has an organization called First Choice Healthcare, and Rory was known for negotiating one of the largest boxing contracts in sports history. I have a gentleman by the name of Robert Brewster who's coming out to support me. He's with Devin Haney Productions, and he's also, I have actually a WBA title holder, Aaron Davis, who's also coming out to support. And they're not coming out to do any promoting for themselves. They're coming out solely to support me and support the healthcare workers. So I just wanted to mention them because they're doing the everyday work on the ground.
Yeah, and there's two more boxers that are actually coming to the event. Just to sign some autographs as well, that they're donating their time, is Tim Witherspoon and Ray Mercer. They'll also be there at the event since they're having the Boxing Hall of Fame that weekend down in Atlantic City as well. So they're going to stop over for us.
Ray Mercer and Tim Witherspoon, they retired, right?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
I have a basketball player that's retired. Maybe we could do like make something happen there. We think.
Yeah, tell him to come out, please. He'll enjoy himself, you know.
Yeah.
I remember I went to Cleveland once. I met Tim Witherspoon. He was in Don King's training camp. I met a very nice individual. I never met Ray Mercer in person. I'm friends with Aaron Davis. I've been knowing Aaron Davis when he first started. You know, when he first, we were training in the same gym together, Aaron Davis. And what's the gentleman they used to work with? Excuse me?
No, I just said, wow, divine intervention that, we're connecting dots here. It's amazing.
Now, what's the gentleman's name they used to work with, Tyrone Jackson?
That's Robert Brewster, and he'll be there supporting, yes.
All right. Wow, that's now, how do you get all these people to support you, Spring?
Well, I'll be honest. I always say, God has blessed me with the most amazing family, most supporting family, and also blessed me with the most amazing friends. And, from early on, I've been this person. I've been this person ever since I was a young girl, always doing things for the community. And I always knew what my purpose was very early on. And the people who know me know that. And they just get on board with me because I'm just my authentic self, and I just do the work, and they have watched me. They're friends of mine. They know me, and they are always excited about the things that I bring to the table. And just so fortunate that they're willing to give their time and they, to my many projects. This is one of many projects I've done, but I've always had the support and the backings of my family and my friends, and I'm so ever grateful to that.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, ironically, this is a tie-in. There's a lot of tie-ins here. You got the boxing tie-in because the Hall of Fame is taking place also. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Can you speak to that, the Hall of Fame that's going on over there as well? A lot of action going on over there in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I have some friends of mine that's going to make a whole weekend out of it. They're going to come down on Friday through Sunday and coming down primarily to see the show and support us with the healthcare workers. But, they know that while they're down there, they can just have, there's other entertainment and activities going on. So they're going to make a weekend of it.
Mm-hmm. And ironically, Francine, you're in the healthcare industry. Is that correct?
Yes.
So go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just had to clear my throat. I'm an oncology administrator, and I always like to give back. So my background is definitely not in the promoting or the shows, but I'm always willing to dabble in a couple other things.
What does oncology? What do they do?
It's cancer treatment. So My background is a radiation therapist who actually treated the patients with radiation on the linear accelerators. And then I moved on to doing the medical dosimetry where you do the calculations for the treatments. And then I turned into an administrator running the actual programs.
Mm-hmm. So this is a question that I've been thinking about lately. Like, how important is it for people to know how to navigate their way through the healthcare system? How important is that?
It's very important, and you really have to be your own advocate, and you really have to own your own health. And I know, a portion of that is really going back to just being accountable and being accountable for yourself. The healthcare industry is changing, definitely changing and turning more into a business and into a concierge service because we're now competing for everyone's dollar because of all the cuts and reimbursements and so forth. But really, when it comes down to yourself and navigating, you have to be accountable first to get there in order to navigate. And in the navigation piece of it, you need to really be your own advocate and be educated and take advantage of all the things that are out there that will definitely help your health.
Mm-hmm. Now, what does it mean when someone says, I have top of the line health care? What does that mean?
I'm sorry, what was it? Top of the line healthcare?
Yeah, when someone says that, like, I know a lot of politicians have excellent health care. What does that mean?
I think that when they say top of the line healthcare, what they mean is that they don't have deductibles, they don't have copays, and they're free to go to any facility or any physician without a referral on their own. That's how I kind of see top of the line healthcare and what it would mean to me.
Okay. Wow.
And when you have top of the line healthcare, you're able to get the best treatment. And those who are not able to get the best treatment, unfortunately, whether they don't have a healthcare insurance, and then they can't afford it. Also, when you are financially secure, you're able to seek the best doctors. Stability, financial stability is everything because you get to choose where you live. You get to choose the food you eat. You get to choose the doctor you see. And that's why it makes it so good for me to have these supporters that are running these community programs, getting people financially secure so they can make decisions with their lives. Because when you do not have the financial security, you do not make your own decisions. Decisions are made for you. So that's why these other frontline workers are just so important because, as I said, and I repeat, because I'm out in the community, I do community development. And when I see these people, working with the community, getting them financially secure, taking guns away, we know the crime rate is just so high and what's going on is unprecedented. And, you have jobs for guns is really, really, really huge because, it's a difficult situation, and it affects humans everywhere. And whenever time you have any one or more geographic area, that's a natural hazard with the rate of these premature deaths, and you have it in a particular locality to encompass the entire planet. Like crime is a public health issue. It is definitely a public health issue. And these are the ways and the people on the ground floor that's trying to do things to combat those issues.
And Ricky, I want to say in debate with Springs, but I want to just clear up one misconception, and it exists throughout the entire country. Just because you have top of the line healthcare doesn't mean that you get top of the line care. And just because you don't think you have top of the line healthcare doesn't mean that you don't get great care. And that speaks volumes to the population. I think Obama did the best getting everyone health care. The person that goes on to healthcare.gov and signs up for Obamacare is going to get the same treatment for cancer, at least, that the person with top of the line health care. The only piece is it goes back to the accountability of being accountable to get yourself to the physician. You're going to need a referral. You're going to need to be sent to a specialist and go through maybe a diagnostic testing and then going on to a doctor then be referred to another specialist, and then finally getting to the point where you need to be. They do have to be accountable and follow direction in order to get that same care. You're not going to get different care when you get into the hospital because you have a different insurance. That is a misconception out there. And ultimately, anyone that's out there with insurance or without insurance, they need to do their screenings. And it goes again back to being accountable. If you're accountable for your care, those screenings are free. Pap smears, they have all grants out there for women. Breast cancer, you've heard about mammograms, free screenings with the Komen Foundation. Colorectal screenings, you can now do a pill that you swallow, and it's a little camera that goes through, and your insurance covers a free screening. So if you don't go get screened, you're going to end up like, you're going to say in the ER with some type of stage 4 cancer that's going to be uncurable, and you're not going to be able to get any type of treatment that's going to actually save your life. It may prolong it, but it's not going to give you any type of chance at cure unless you take care and own your own health and, take advantage of what's out there for you and everyone via top of the line healthcare or, low, if you want to say somebody with a high deductible or someone with no insurance. Those screenings are free. And the earlier anything is found, the better chance at survival. So that's just my little piece on that.
And I agree with you. You have to take a proactive approach to your health. And even just hearing you speak, there's some appointments, I'm going to make going forward because there are screenings. I'm normally on my health care pretty much, but there are certain screenings that I do need to get done. So I'm glad that you shared this information. But I will tell you this, I'm out in the community all the time, and I know this healthcare very well in the inner city. And when you have certain healthcare and those insurance companies do not pay on time, those doctors do not want to see these people. I am telling you, I've been there. I've been called out because when these kind of things happen in my community, all I do is make a phone call, and 40 of us are out there picketing in front of in front of stores, in front of healthcare facilities. So I know people who have been mistreated just on the type of healthcare from the door. Oh, this is a healthcare. They accept it, but they don't want to accept it, and that's because the insurance companies don't pay on time. And what happens is that a person that's already in fear of going to the doctor finally makes an appointment and go in to see the physician. And when they're greeted that way, or a conversation is being held as if they don't want to treat you because of the type of health care you have, you're already reluctant to go forward with it. So it does happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And, I guess everybody's a little bit different, and, owning your own healthcare and, not letting anyone get in your way in order to take care of yourself. I get it. And I think healthcare, as I said in the beginning, is starting to see, any healthcare is acceptable because it is turning into a business, and it's turning into a competitive edge whereby, you want everyone. You don't want to be so selective anymore. Now, there are for-profit hospitals and there are nonprofit hospitals. And I think the best advice to that end of it is, someone who doesn't have, high deductibles or any of those things, don't go to a for-profit hospital. Go to a nonprofit, because they're not going to treat you to those reasons as you're saying. They have to accept care to everyone because they're funded on the back end from the government.
How do you know what's a for-profit? How do you know what's a for-profit and a non-profit hospital? How do you know?
I mean, you could ask them, number one, when you walk in, and number two, you could Google it online and just see if they're a profit or nonprofit. Normally, a community-based hospitals are nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. Doug, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to just say that, I don't know if Francine knew this or not, but she actually, I picked up something from her that I had never heard before, in that people can go to a specialist without a referral. I had never heard that.
Yeah, certain insurance
I'm
is
just
like
saying,
the government.
serious.
Yeah, some of the insurance.
I get you.
Yeah.
But I just want to follow up what Spring was saying. In our community, I don't think anybody knew that.
Exactly.
So, right. but here's the other thing. But here's the other thing. Here's just the other thing. Just the the oh shit big kind of picture type of thing. I think that everybody's got the concept really wrong. You know, when you have people that fix us, those are special people. And the whole idea that they have to hustle for money and they're fixing us is pretty damn stupid. Mm-hmm. And I think that most people are not interested in those stupid ass affordable health care. They want good health care. Because nobody's saying, hey, wait a minute, I got cancer in my toe. I'm going to go around here to the $5 guy instead of Sloan Kettering. Nobody says that.
Right.
It's so stupid. I'm just trying to make light of how silly it is in conceptually. You know, I'm just saying, just on the sub. I ain't trying to point no fingers out. I'm not trying to say I know I have a solution. I ain't doing none of that. No. I'm just saying that you actually enlighten a lot of people today just by bringing it up, just by having a little conversation. People, what you can go? You don't need no referral. Then you start going. Nobody should need a referral.
No, I agree with you 100%.
The people who fix us, they should be getting a special deal.
Yeah, and I can tell you,
everybody want a special. We all understand the special deal. The people who fix us, they should be treated like that. They shouldn't be sitting around hustling, trying to, come to this health care. Don't get in the way of your health. You got to fight for this. This shit should be automatic for everybody, just because we here.
Yeah, I agree.
Nobody would be upset with that. And I've had friends as a basketball player. I've had friends because when you're an athlete, you don't pay for shit. People always giving because first of all you don't get into anything unless you're invited. And when somebody invites you into something, they take care of you. You don't invite people there so you can beat them up. You know what I mean? So we travel around with doctors. And these guys are, so you have friends. So when my kids was growing up, when something was wrong with my kids, I called one of my teammates who's a doctor. Right. Come to the crib. You see what I'm saying? If I have a problem, I can get on the phone. Then I realized after that, I said, shit, that's what everybody wants. You want to be able to call the guy up or she up, the person, because you want to trust them. So that's what Spring was talking about. The trust factor. Absolutely. She was talking about the trust factor. It's out of, you can't have that with the people who fix you. And if you're enlightening us and saying, wait a minute, they got all kinds of ways they can do things. If you know about it.
Right.
And it shouldn't be that way. It should be that everybody the people who have that talent, and I'm just saying it because my mother was a nurse, so I know what it's like to grow up with somebody like that in your house. This really could be difficult because you don't want to tell them what's wrong with you all the time. When you operate, you go, oh yeah, I know what that is. Come over here, boy. So, but my point is, everybody needs to have the confidence that we could go to the people who fix us, and they're there for us because they don't have to worry about all this other stuff like all the rest of us do. I would be willing to give them that kind of path if it was up to me.
I have to be honest with you. I work in healthcare, and I have to get a referral. If I want to go to Sloan Kettering,
I get you. I get you. I understand.
I mean, I'm going to have to go to a primary care, a specialist, and then they're going to have to make the referral. And then they're going to send me back for my treatment because I'm out of network. So, and I work in healthcare.
I got you. So, no, I'm saying all of us should be treated like special people is what I'm saying. Absolutely. All of us should get that tippity top special stuff that you was talking about for the very best. We all should be getting that. That should be the standard for all of us. The tip to get the best people, they shouldn't have to pay no taxes. Give them the people who think they should be getting free shit. Like I used to get when I was a basketball player. I'm just saying.
Okay, so first of all,
I'm done, Rick.
Wait a minute. First of all, a lot of people, Spring can speak to this, and Francine can speak, and even Doug can speak to this. A lot of people get their health care through the emergency room.
Yes.
They don't have a primary doctor. Can you speak to that, Francine, Spring?
I know, and unfortunately, in certain communities, going to the doctor for your regular checkups, it doesn't always happen. I don't know. We have a big fear of going to the doctor. For some reason, we think if we don't go, the symptoms or whatever is happening is going to go away. No, you have to get a diagnosis. You have to get it taken care of. You have to get it treated. But they're not raised, or obviously the parents are not talking to the kids and taking them to their regular doctor's visits. Because if you do it early on and you have those conversations, you take them for all of the shots that they need and the conversation is being had, they will grow up learning to go to the doctor. It'll be normal procedure. But when it doesn't happen, it doesn't become normal procedure, and they're fearful. And the reason why the emergency room becomes their doctor's visit is because they wait, as Francine was saying. You have to be accountable. You can't wait until the situation worsens. You have to get your regular checks so you can catch things early.
And going back to that trust that we spoke about just a minute ago, if you go to your family doctor and you go for your annual checkups, you're going to develop a relationship. Maybe not, strictly with the physician or the PA. You're going to develop that relationship at the front desk, at the checkout, and you're going to become very comfortable then to pick up the phone and call and say, I have a quick problem, or I need this, or I'm not this. It goes all the way back again, just to being accountable for yourself and doing what, you got to follow directions. You follow directions on so many other things in life. You got to follow it with your health. They say, go to the doctor for an annual checkup, go to the doctor. You'll build that relationship. And if you don't like that doctor, there's 50 other ones out there to find.
Yeah. And what I've learned is that, why I say when you're younger, if your parents take you to the doctor and they're having conversations with you about your health, a lot of things become easier depending on who introduces you to it. It's just like a personal referral. I always say, even when I was younger and I wanted to pray to God, I would always ask my grandmother also, Grandma, pray for me, because I thought she had a better relationship with God than I did. But I'll tell you also, in later years, I found out.
The soul.
Are you all able to hear me?
Upper West Side.
Station ID.
Oh, okay. Also,
okay,
I learned in later years, working at the college, that I didn't know you could be 21 years old and never been in a church before. And I thought that was insane. And I said to one of my students, you mean not for Easter, not for a wedding, not for a christening? They said, no, I've never been into a church. And I thought that wasn't heard of. I understand now why kids have no self-control, because they have no fear. Because even if you didn't fear your parents, you feared God watching you do things that you shouldn't be doing. And I spoke to another group of students, and they said, no, I've always been to church. My grandma introduced me to church early on. And, being that grandma introduced me, I always like going, and I go, and then now my kids go, and so forth. So I realized it's very important who introduces things to you. And especially as a young person, mainly it comes from the people closest to you, what are the people in your household. So, I try to do my part. I always call myself an extended mommy. Everybody calls me Mommy Spring. And it's because I step in and I know some of the things that are missing, and I try to step in and I try to give them those things and those tools to succeed, whether it be introducing them to a church, or whether it be introducing them to education, or just introducing them to information in general.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I want to say one last thing also. If you can bring in mental health, if you're able, being that it went from a concert to talking about healthcare, which I think this is really great that we're getting so deep into healthcare. But another stigma with certain communities is that they don't go seek, they don't get mental health treatment, whether it's for depression or whether it's for something more severe. We once again are in fear because, unfortunately, we have been taught that we don't need a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is for people that are, lack of a better word, crazy. And that's not true. A therapist is for anyone who needs it, no matter what your situation is. You don't have to be schizophrenic to go see a therapist. You could just be feeling that you're falling deeper into depression. And it could be just the fact that you lost your job and you haven't been able to find one and you're seeping into a deep place. a lot of the healthcare covers these services, but people don't use them. Everyone is screaming now saying mental illness is off the hook. It's off the chain. And no, I say no, it's been off the chain. The reason being is that we are dealing with COVID, and COVID has everyone locked in their homes, and the only one that's out there is the mental illness because they don't have a home to go to, and the shelters may have turned them loose. And so now we say, oh, it's mental health, it's crazy, it's all over the place. No, we just shined a light on it. It's always been there, but when you had millions of people going to and from work, you couldn't see them in the sea of people. Now that people are home, it's magnified, but this mental health issue has always been there. And I'm just saying to people, if you need help understanding something, please go see a therapist, please.
Well, Spring, let me just say, I want to thank you because you just took away my very next question. You just took my question because I was going to go right into that. I guess you must have, I don't know, maybe you knew what I was going to say. Because I was going to say, can we do...
I've been friends with you now, and I've been on your show many a time, so maybe it's just, we're here. We understand.
No, because if you have a foot problem, you go to the foot doctor. The dentist, you go to the dentist. If you have a tooth, heart, you check out your heart, and check out all your other body parts. But then the head, people don't check out their head. And that's something that needs to be dealt with. And a lot of people have dealt with issues that have never been dealt with. And they're out in the world, they got jobs, they're doing the magnificent thing. So they figure, oh, everything is all right. But a lot of people have issues with their head. And Francine, I think you can speak to that as well.
Yeah. And I think the mental health piece is, becoming more and more prevalent. A lot of it due to this pandemic. Frontline workers in healthcare, I think, are right now on center stage with mental health because they are all breaking down. They are all breaking down through this pandemic and watching so many people die and having codes called every 30 seconds in a hospital. You hear one or two in a whole day, that's pretty much of a normal. But this pandemic really opened up a different can of worms with healthcare and the people in it with mental health because they're really suffering from it. So I think it's really gotten a lot of attention. And, mental health has a stigma against it, and it, it doesn't carry a positive connotation. So that needs to change across the entire country. So just like you said, if you have a headache, you go to the doctor. If you have a toe ache, you go to the foot doctor. Mental health has to be it has to become more acceptable in this country and in our normal conversations so that it's not a negative connotation about you. It's just that you having a problem that you need to speak to someone, and you should be able to seek that without any kind of negativity coming back at you.
Some of the athletes have spoke about it. Michael Phelps, the tennis player, that's one of the top rated tennis players right now, has spoke about issues that she has dealt with. A few other athletes have talked about it, and it's something that it's got a stigma to it. I mean, let's face it.
Simone Biles just came out and she had a death in her family and, really withdrew from the Olympics. That's everyone's dream to be in the Olympics. She's one of the most decorated athletes. And she came out and was, had some personal mental issues that she was going through and needed to deal with. And she took her out of the competition. I give her all the credit in the world. She did the right thing for her. Who wants to be flipping around 20 feet in the air and, have your mind someplace else? I mean, she did the right thing for her and, she wasn't afraid to say it.
Well,
I really applaud the entertainers for coming out because sometimes the entertainers or athletes have a large impression on, especially the youth and younger individuals. Right. And, but let me just say,
I spoke about this to you guys the other day. I was saying that, Terry Williams came out with a book called The Personal Touch, networking book. And everybody's like excited. She was working with Bill Cosby and, this networking, the personal touch, like, wow, great book. And so her next book is coming out. Everybody's excited, business, networking, like, yeah, Terry Williams' next book. And she comes out with Black pain. What? Even I was like, oh, what? Why are you coming out with a book like that for? What is that about? Now I know. At the time, I didn't know. Now I know. It's a very serious issue that needs to be dealt with and needs to be addressed. And it's not being addressed on a wide scale in our community. Because even sometimes you can go to a doctor and they have issues. And you don't even know it.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you got to get the people's attention first in order for them to listen. And what she did is she got the attention with the first book, and they was waiting before the second book that you had attention.
Right.
And I think it was an awesome 1-2 punch to go ahead and now give them the information that they really need.
And the other thing is that people think when you talk about mental health, they think schizophrenic, walking down the street, homeless. They don't think like people that are regular, normal people that's got issues. They don't think about that. They only think about the other form of mental illness on an extreme level.
Correct. Correct. They don't understand that just being overwhelmed or having anxiety about something, seeing a therapist can help with that. So it's not always, to that magnitude. But as I said, the more we talk about it, the more the entertainers talk about it, the, high profile individuals talk about it, I think the more comfortable the average person will be in going to seek the help. It'll be cool and it'll be okay. It should be, we're going to make, seeing a doctor and seeking help cool again,
Well, thank you for paying tribute to the frontline healthcare workers, because what they do is so, so important. What they do. And I really appreciate that y'all doing this event, paying tribute to them, paying tribute to Teddy Pendergrass and the band. It's just a wonderful thing that you're doing. I'm just honored that you're doing this project. So thank you, Brain. Thank you, Francine. And Lamont White is also a part of what you're doing, the former NFL player. I don't think he made it on the call today.
No, he didn't make it on a call, but he's a phenomenal guy, and just so grateful that we work together. He's a colleague of mine, and we developed a friendship, and it's been over a decade now. And he's a real stand-up dude. And anytime that I've called on him, because he grew up in Irvington and parts of Newark, New Jersey. And,
oh wow! Okay.
Making it to the NFL is very hard. And of course, there were obstacles. And I called on him many times to do speaking engagements at schools and colleges, just telling his story and the story of perseverance. And he's always stepped to the plate, and he's always shown up, and he's always been his authentic self and tell his authentic story. And I applaud him. And we still obviously have the relationship today. And we've partnered on many, many, many different projects. And I wish he was on the call, but I'm quite sure this is going to be one of many talks, Ricky. And hopefully in the future, he'll be on the line with us.
And when is the show going to be? Give just information about the show again in Atlantic City.
The show is at the Showboat at Atlantic City, New Jersey, on the boardwalk. It's August 21st, 2021. That's on a Saturday, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m.
And they get information through Eventbrite.
Eventbrite,
right.
yes. And the other thing that we neglected to mention, and I do apologize, is that anyone from the general public that's coming, we do have a donation up there, and a portion of those funds is also going to go back to the frontline workers for our future events, whereby we could have 50 to 100 tickets that, a frontline worker can, first come, first serve, log on to, and then come to the event for free. We want to always give back to our community, and, for everything that they've been through. There aren't going to be enough tickets in the world in order to pay back what's been done, but it'll always be nice to have something to give back to them as well. I wanted to just speak one thing on Lamont. Unfortunately, couldn't get on the call. As far as giving back, he's also a personal trainer. And during the COVID pandemic, he actually did a little group exercise for the healthcare workers at the facility that I run. and they absolutely loved all the training. And it gave us a couple days a week. He came to us, did it in 6 feet apart, socially distanced with masks, the whole thing. But coming into that environment and being there and giving back at that point in time, because all the gyms were shut down, he again donated his time like that as well. So you're really a remarkable person. So
really, kudos to him. Seriously.
Yes,
right. And Spring, any final words or thoughts you would like to share with us?
Well, what I want everyone to come out, and I want everyone to make sure that they wear their mask. And we're going to social distance still at this event. Whether you have your shot or not, your vaccine or not, please make sure that you wear your mask. I just want everybody to arrive safely, enjoy a great concert, and return home safely. But I also want them to take what we're saying and share this information with someone else, and just do your screenings early, and do what you can for your community. Like you said, reach out and touch someone else's hand. And I tell you, we can make this world a better place. We definitely can. So we just want to keep love in our hearts. We just want to make sure you keep love in your hearts, and just be concerned for, your fellow human beings. That's all.
Well, that's a powerful 3-punch combination. You got the boxing, you got the healthcare, and then you got Teddy Pendergrass. That's a powerful 3-punch combination.
That's right. Music is universal, and music allows people to know that they have more similarities than differences. It's always been forever bringing people together. So we definitely are able to do that now and on a big stage. And not only the healthcare workers, but just the everyday folks come out and join us. And it'll be informative. I'll be I'll be there. Francine will be there, and who knows? Maybe we'll even have some flyers that we can hand out to just remind people to get their screenings. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really super excited.
Well, Spring, there was one time when I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I used to cry my eyes to sleep, but now I've eased the pain. I've got someone to ease that pain. Teddy Pendergrass. Pendergrass line. It don't hurt now. It don't hurt now. He said it don't hurt now. Yeah, Teddy, man. Awesome. No, not now. I want to thank you guys. I appreciate you, the work that you're doing, and I know the event is going to be a success. And I want to wish all of you continued success.
Well, we look forward to seeing you and your engineer on the 21st. And thank you so much once again, Ricky, for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
And I want you to know I feel your love. I'm very glad to be sharing the stage with so much wonderful talent, but especially with